Hi, and welcome to another episode of Spinster Stories, where I spin yarn and tell spooky stories. Today, we're still mixing it up a little bit. I got a request for somebody wanted to see what the weirdest or most unusual fibers I have spun so far. So we're gonna be going on a tour through all of the weird things that I have spun. Because when I first started spinning, I had a goal to spin every kind of fiber I could get my hands on, just to kind of find out what I like, what I don't like. Also, because it's fun to say I made yarn out of this weird thing. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So, normally, most of the time, I'll just spin regular sheep. So, here's a couple examples of, just like regular sheep wool that I have spun. It's easy to get your hands on. It's not super expensive, and it's soft, it's durable. It's great. But sometimes you want to mix it up a little bit. So if I'm not spinning, sheep, I do really like to spin alpaca. So this is just plain alpaca that I have spun. It's black alpaca. The different fibers do have different qualities. So alpaca is very, very, very soft compared to sheep's wool. Some sheep breeds are, softer than others. They all have their purpose. But alpaca is very, very, very soft. The only issue is it doesn't hold its shape as well as sheep's wool does. So if you spin straight alpaca, it's going to be really, really drapey, really loose. But it's very, very warm. So I like it, but if you're going to spin alpaca and you want it to, have a little more strength, a lot of times I will get alpaca silk. So this is an alpaca mulberry silk blend that I spun up. I did make some socks for my husband with this. He loves them. They're great. Again, the only issue is they don't hold their shape as well as the wool blend socks that I have made. So in the future, if I'm going to make him socks, it's probably going to be more of a wool, like sheep wool silk instead of alpaca silk. But anyways, moving on from alpaca, I have also spun some llama. I hated spinning llama. That was not fun for me. It's just it's kind of scratchy. Not sure what I'm gonna make with it. So I think my plan is I'm gonna get more llama, even though I hate to spin it, and just spin a little bit more so I have enough to weave like a little front entry rug. Because llama makes really good rugs because it's adorable. It's not very soft. It's not great for clothing or anything. So gonna weave a rug with that at some point. Following in the scratchy, itchy yarn, this is mountain goat that I have spun. I love the colors. I thought it was super fun to spin mountain goat. It's also super awesome to be able to say, I made mountain goat yarn. I have no idea what I'm going to do with it though. It is very, very scratchy, very itchy. Can't make a hat or anything with it because it's just rough. So I was thinking probably at some point I'll knit like a little purse or something just to use it. But also, I just like to have it, to look at it. So I'm turning into a little yarn goblin, I guess, because some of the yarn is just, it's so pretty when it's spun up. I don't want to use it because it's so pretty. Anyways, moving on from itchy, scratchy, rough, we're back to the alpaca. This is actually alpaca camel and silk. So I've got it's a big blend. It's all three of those fibers mixed together. I forget what the ratios are, but super soft, really pretty colors. I loved spinning this. Camel is also kind of like alpaca. It's really, really soft, really, really warm, kind of expensive because it's one of the weirder ones you can get. So it's a little expensive. Worth it. I've got more downstairs of just straight 100% camel that I'm going to be spinning at some point. Not sure what I'm going to do with it yet, but I have it. I also really enjoy spinning yak silk, or just straight yak. I don't have any finished yarn to show you because everything that I have spun, I have knit already and given away as gifts. Because it's really nice. Again, the only issue is it's expensive, so that's a kind of a luxury treat for me when I'm able to get my hands on some yak. And then to top off the weirdest fiber I have spun so far, this was hard to get my hands on. A lot of legal loopholes to jump through to get it to me. I had to have like paperwork filled out and everything. But grizzly bear. I have grizzly bear fur that I turned into yarn. I'm pretty sure it was a salvaged bear rug that they repurposed to give me the fur. Anyways, bear. I have spun bear. I have bear yarn. That is the weirdest thing I have spun so far. It was really weird to spin. Not super hard. I was expecting it to be a little bit harder, but it spun up okay. I did end up knitting a tiny baby teddy bear hat for my son. We did a little photo shoot with it. It's not the softest, but I mean, you're able to wear it, just not for extended periods of time because it'll probably start bothering you at that point. But yeah, teddy bear hat made out of grizzly bear. Anyways, yeah, that's the weirdest thing I've spun so far. I have other things planned. This sounds super weird, but my mom has a lab, and she has been saving his, when she brushes him, she's been saving his fur for me. And I'm going to make her some Archer yarn because his name's Archer. So at some point when I have enough, I'm going to have to blend it with some wool because it's just too short to be able to make yarn and hold on to itself. So it's not going to be 100% dog yarn, but I'm going to be making dog yarn at some point, and you better be ready for that because I'm going to be showing you that. Anyways, thanks for coming on this tour of my weird yarn, and we'll see you next time on Spinster Stories.